Today is just to recap and talk about some rookie mistakes I'm learning about. Good morning. My name is Brian. I'm a reseller. I've been filming the last few days, practicing for a new YouTube channel that I'm creating about reselling and retirement. I'm here at my office. Often my view is the lake. It's a little windy today, so you may hear some noise on the mic. So far, nobody's really using the lake today. It'll have to warm up a little bit more before we see too much in the way of activity. Over in this direction, here's the view. You can see the wisteria swaying in the breeze. But my topic today is just to recap and talk about some rookie mistakes I'm learning about. The first thing I noticed when I began filming is that I expected my Pixel 6 to be able to change from the front to the back camera while I was filming. Turns out it doesn't. Morning talks here at the lake. Let me go ahead and flip this. So I went on to YouTube, which is a great reference and resource, and started looking for solutions. I found a few, and I settled on downloading a small app that would allow me to do that, so I can flip like this without having to stop the video and start it again. It's called Non-Stop Cam. I'm having a little bit of fumbling with it because the button arrangement is different than my regular filming, my camera. And in the past, I've only really used my camera to make short videos to upload to show that a product is working on eBay.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
I'd never made long videos before. One of the first things I learned is that I expected when I turned the camera like this and back that the stored video would actually reorient horizontal to vertical and back. Well, it doesn't. It ends up showing whatever angle the camera started in, and if you turn it, you're looking at it sideways or 90 degrees off. So I found out that some of the footage I did yesterday had long segments in the wrong direction. And of course, I've seen that before when new content creators come online on YouTube, and it's always good for a laugh. Well, now it's me that we can laugh at and call a rookie. So another thing I noticed is that I changed the cameras or changed the angles. My fingers will sometimes appear in the background or cover part of the camera, especially true if I'm using the other camera. Also, if I get distracted or I hear a noise and I turn, you get a few seconds of the floor, or my head gets cut off, or the overhead lighting becomes the center of the focus on the channel. And those, of course, are all things you learn by doing. I've always been a proponent of the idea that one of the best ways to do something is to simply do it. And I've decided to put this channel online because we've got nearly 30 years experience as resellers, auction employees. We ran consignment sales. We ran estate sales. We filled up the shelves in consignment stores. We've sold a little on Etsy. I had an Amazon account, but ran smack into the whole gating issue, so I've never sold on Amazon. We've sold in person at flea markets, direct sales. Our selling goes all the way back to putting newspaper ads in long before sites like eBay took off, or Facebook, or even Craigslist. I remember Craigslist was the new thing at the time, and I loved it. It replaced the idea of putting individual ads in newspapers each week. And now, of course, Facebook has eclipsed Craigslist, and that's how we sell oversized items locally to the market. We've never shipped with Facebook because there are better choices, I think, than Facebook when it comes time to shipping. But for a while, we ran our own website, serviced and managed by my eldest daughter. So we had some experience doing that as well. We've since retired to the lake. This is my second retirement. And as I start to this new path, there you can see the wind moving the bushes and the trees. Yeah, there we go. Wind's picking up. You can hear Rose's my wife. You can hear her wind chimes in the background. She has several of different sizes with different tones, and I can tell by which ones are going off how windy it is out here on the front deck. This is what we call our front yard. It faces the lake. The road access is on the opposite side of the house, and Rose will be out shortly, and we are going to go finish the prep work. A tree cutting crew that tomorrow and drop a very large tree next to the house. Yeah, so until Rose shows up and says it's time to go move the water fountains and move the plants that might get damaged during dropping that tree. That tree's so close that the guys are going to have to cut it as they lower it, one log round at a time, to keep from impacting the siding and the roof on the house. And then they'll chip up the branches. Rose will reuse those as garden mulch, and we'll end up probably selling off the firewood because I've got a bit stored out here already at the lake, and we don't burn outdoor fires often here. When the grandkids are in, we'll do it, but I got more than enough stored. At the old house, my workshop had wood heat in it, so when we ran a sawmill, all the slab wood and all the cut-offs and all the pieces that didn't get turned into lumber got turned into wood for my wood stove, because that's one of those symbiotic relationships. If you can turn the waste into something useful, you have the opportunity to either avoid spending money, cost avoidance, or to sell that waste to someone else who can use it. And that's why a lot of our business over the years has been repurposing, salvaging items, taking items that other people don't see value in, and then turning them into something or showing them how that item does have value and can save them on their own projects. We actually built an entire house, the one we moved down from, doing it basically that way. We sourced an awful lot of material. We cut lumber for ourselves. We took items that were surplus to us and sold them and used that money to turn around and buy the items we couldn't find on the secondary market. And that house was built without a mortgage. And when we went to sell it, we didn't have to involve bankers or even real estate agents. A private sale, and used a title company to process and transfer the title. We've done that a few times over the years, and we find it much preferable to paying 6-7% to a real estate agent in a market where if you've got a good product, it can be sold to someone directly. That's much of the kind of thing we'll be discussing. Which platform would be best for your reselling business? What categories of items might be good? What you can turn a profit on? What's available in your area? Rose and I have lived a lot of places in a lot of years, and of course overseas. So we've got a lot of experience at different ways to sell. As I often say, there are hundreds of ways to make $1 in this business. The trick is to do it in such a way that you're left with as much of that dollar when the dust settles as you can keep. After the taxes, after the platform fees, after the cost to acquire and locate the item, you'll see an awful lot of auction interaction in our videos, because for the last 30 years, auctions were probably the number one primary source for us acquiring goods to resell. For a number of years, a second method was buying entire estates. People who were moving, we'd buy everything they wouldn't take with them. We'd find folks who were moving into assisted living, and I'd buy the contents of their workshop. We also, long before the TV shows, spent years buying and selling delinquent storage units. We'd buy the units at auction or directly, and then we'd sell the contents after relocating it. Well, I can hear Rose coming out the door right now, so I'm going to get on with the day, because this is fun. Making video clips, talking about what's on my mind. It's going to cut into my time spent at the computer putting up new listings. But I think it's worthwhile. And as I get older, I've got some things I want to say. And since smartphones have made it fairly easy for us to put this stuff into the permanent record once we post it, they say nothing ever leaves the internet. I think this is going to work out for me, and hopefully if you're new to reselling, it'll benefit you as well. One of the things about cutting into your listing time, and an advantage I have, is that Rose and I retired in 97, and I've had a retirement income ever since. Rose wasn't ready to retire in 97. She kept working another, nearly a decade, full or part-time, and then she finally pulled the trigger and retired. Together we run around like playmates deciding what we want to do each day, what we want to get involved in, whether we want to make an acquisition, put the effort into selling it, make a road trip. We've done a few cruise ships, so we're trying to balance our reselling time with fun time. You know, you work your whole life as young people, young adults, and then as parents to provide for your family and to pay your bills, but you often push aside the balance because when you're young, you think you're going to go on forever. You think, life is going to take care of you. And it doesn't always work out that way. Since we have another income other than reselling, now that we've cut back from the business and we've sold the boom trucks and the forklifts and aren't using the big shop anymore, we're not renting space. We don't have regular consignment stores that we need to keep our inventory flowing into. We can decide how much each day we want to play. But the point is that since we have another income, we can have days where we don't involve ourselves in reselling. I try to list every day. The number of items I list every day varies. Rose, she lists when she feels like it. She spends more time actually running sales, sending offers, does the administrative and tax paperwork. She likes to take the old listings, the aging listings, and update them. Take a look at what the shipping was, take a look at that we're staying current with it, taking a look at whether that item should still be on our active listing, whether or not we should pull that down and sell it locally and recoup the cost at whatever it is we can get out of it at a local auction or on Facebook. There's always been something like Facebook around, and it's what we're currently using if we've got an oversized item. Behind me, leaned up in the carport here, is a pedal boat that we bought last year. I'm no small thing, so when I get into an aging pedal boat with a weight capacity and I'm in there with Rose, the old ones don't move through the water so well. So we went out and we selected a new one, and to help pay for it, we sold off not one but two old pedal boats. Because when the girls were younger and they came to the lake in the summer with their friends, now one of them's off to college and the other one's got a boyfriend. We could sometimes put several kayaks and the pedal boats in the water on the same day. But for me to get in something like a kayak, I need a bigger kayak. For me to get in a pedal boat, it's nice if there's room for my knees, my legs. I'm only 6'1", but many of these boats were designed for teenagers or children or women the size of Rose. Behind me is a new one. But like I say, when we picked it out last year, we picked it out when it went on sale. We paid for it along with a coupon to get a better price. And we then sold the old pedal boats on Facebook, and we recouped about half of what we needed to invest in the new boat. When the weather really warms up, we'll put the pedal boat in for the season. And what we do then is we cover it and leave it tied up at the edge of the lake. But for now, it leans up in the carport to keep what we call the green slime of the Pacific Northwest rainforest off of it. As you watch these videos and travel around, you'll notice that winter green slime, which is a combination of moss and pine needles, seems to get on everything that isn't washed, pressure washed, or used routinely. Yeah, every climate has its issues, and that's one here. We like the Pacific Northwest. We actually chose it when I was about 18 years old. Didn't get here for quite some time, and to pick it as our retirement home. But we'll get into the stories about retirement and reselling and the ways to go about it in much more detail as the months go on. Right now, I'm really just practicing talking to the camera. And I've got to learn how to upload these videos into an editing software to turn them into something of a finished product. But I can already tell that just as listing is my choke point for selling, I don't like listing. I like buying. I like the hunt. I like looking at the opportunities and evaluating whether or not they're worth it or not, which ones to accept, which ones to pass up on. Opportunities abound. The ways you can sell abound. The more experience you have at it, the more you can recognize that opportunity. But there are aspects of reselling that I don't like. I don't like having more stuff than I can store. I don't like having it underfoot, even though I'm willing to do that if the right opportunity comes along. I don't see it as a death pile. I see it as items in the queue waiting to be listed and to realize the potential that I spotted in the first place. Because I like finding out whether I did well, I broke even, or I did poorly. And when you do poorly, you learn just as much from those lessons as from when you do well. And you can buy something one year that tanks the next if you don't get through the volume. But I can see that it's going to be a lot easier for me to turn the camera on and to make a video and to talk to you folks than it is for me to go through the process of editing. Now, that's a guess because the videos I watched on YouTube so far that talk about editing talk about how the more you edit, the longer the process is. And some people only put up live videos for that reason. So I don't know which way I'm going to go with this yet. I don't know which editing software I'm going to use. I don't know how long it's going to take me to sift through this first 2 days worth of clips and to turn them into some videos that are worth watching. All right. Enjoy your afternoon. I may turn the camera again later, but enjoy your life.